Menopause symptoms can run the spectrum for many years, and in some cases 10 or more. It's difficult though, because it's hard. We want to give attention and we want to make workplaces supportive, but we also don't want to alienate and ostracize or make it so that people say, well, then I'm actually just not going to hire women of a certain age, or they're not going to get promoted if they actually can't do the job. And that's not what we're saying at all. There, I am midlife right now. I am menopausal. I think I'm at the top of my, of my career. I'm doing so much that I would hate to be stigmatized with, oh, she's midlife or menopausal, like just hang it up. But there are things that actually can be done, and we actually should be supportive. And it's hard to do it across the board because there's so many different, some people work in outdoor situations where they've got to wear a uniform, and the uniform is not breathable or made of breathable fabric. And if you work in a hot place, that can be really just damning. And that could be the reason that you say, I'm going to quit. Studies, not lots, we need more, but that have showed that that's a major, that oftentimes, one of the biggest drivers for women leaving the workforce is that they don't feel like they can cope with their symptoms or do their job and cope. And so things like having the ability to have temperature control or to have a fan in your office is really important. And it's a small thing. And you think, well, why would that be a big deal? Having bathroom breaks and being able, especially during the perimenopause transition, just like we talked about the beginning of the menstrual cycles can be pretty wacky. Some people can experience lots of really, unscheduled bleeding, heavy bleeding. So if you've got a job where you can't have access to the restroom when you need it, that actually can be very impactful as well. Personally, for myself, I only do gynecology now. And when I do gynecology surgery, I have the ability to have the circulating team in the operating room turn down the temperature if I'm starting to get too warm. I can actually ask someone, and I have asked people to tape ice packs to the back of my neck or my lower back, because I get a hot flash, I start to feel a little bit dizzy and I don't want to pass out. But when I was still doing obstetrics and doing deliveries, the room needs to be a certain temperature because the baby can't really be that cold, and I can't say, well, I'm actually having a hot flash here. I don't care about that baby. Can you turn this temperature down? Or stop taking care of the mom and the baby. Can somebody come over here and put an ice pack on my back? It couldn't do it. And I started to have a lot of anxiety about especially doing a C-section, because it would be so hot in the operating room and I'd have to have the gown on and the mask on and the surgical cap and the hot lights are beaming down on you. And I can articulate it now of saying that was a major factor. And it seems silly. You stopped doing OB because you were hot. But it's not, I was just hot. I would be drenched walking out of there. My hair was wet. I'd be wet down to my undergarments. I didn't have time to go take a shower. This is artificially straightened Monica hair. I'm a Black woman. Then I'd come out with an afro. All of that really impacted not how I did the C-section, but how I felt about it. And so I really can identify with people that say, I questioned whether or not I could perform in the way that the job wanted me to.